Hopeful young developers from all over the globe dream of innovating the next big thing, a technology breakthrough that rockets them to success. Microsoft's Imagine Cup offers student innovators a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to show the world their best and boldest ideas.
You guys are literally looking to save lives.
Yes.
With your drone technology.
With a growing set of intelligent technologies and cloud computing platforms like Microsoft Azure, young developers are more empowered than ever to build game-changing innovations. It's all come down to this moment. Dream it, build it, live it. Who will win the Imagine Cup?
Welcome to the Imagine Cup. Let's go!
happiness of the pineapple, even though with our 5 cents.
We are currently working on our project, Beehive Agriculture.
Everyone, I'm Eugene from Team 7X representing Singapore. I'm so glad to be here in Malaysia for the Imagine Cup in the regional finals.
And just start with our solution, our product by setting them into their box.
Hi, my name is Jason, and this is my teammates, and we are from the University of Technology Malaysia.
And today I will introduce you a technological product. It's called Smart Box.
Today we would like to introduce to you our project, Inspector.
We are in shop 22.45 kilometers from South Korea. I'm Jaehyuk, he's Jangwon. See you in Kuala Lumpur. Bye.
We are from Kuala State, from Bandung Institute of Technology. So, enhance future ability.
Yes, according to John Hall, a biological anthropologist.
Hello, we are Team Tumulon. We make a city scanner and healthcare platform. We assure your tomorrow.
We are from Team Algoal. I'm Nissanka Seniratna, she is Anushka Hapagutra, and he is Bhuvanika De Silva.
Namaste from Nepal. This is Ida Rizal representing the team Sochware with our product e-Agrovet.
Folks, just to give you a little bit of a heads up. First up, very good morning to all of you. A quick heads up here, we're actually still waiting for the rest of our friends to join us. They're a little bit stuck in traffic, so bear with us for a little bit, okay? It's a bit unusual for KL morning traffic, but you know, it happens. It happens. So no worries, chill, relax, enjoy the video that we've got for you, and then things are going to get started. Things are going to get very exciting as the day progresses. So hang in there, chill out for a little bit, and we'll be with you in a short while, okay? Cheerios now.
signals of the pineapple, even though with our five senses.
We are currently working on our project, Beehive Agriculture.
Hi everyone, I'm Eugene from Team 7X representing Singapore. I'm so glad to be here in Malaysia for the Emerging Cup in the regional finals.
And just start with our solution, our product by setting them into their box.
Hi, my name is Jason, and this is my teammates, and we are from the University of Technology Malaysia.
And today I will introduce you a technological product. It's called Smart Box.
We are Team Louis.
Today we would like to introduce to you our project, Inspector.
We are NSHOP 22.45 kilometers from South Korea. I'm Jaehyuk. Please Jangwon. See you in Kuala Lumpur. Bye.
We are from Kuala State, from Bandung Institute of Technology. So, enhance future ability.
Yes, according to John Holmes, a biological anthropologist.
Hello, we are Team Cameron. We make a city scanner and healthcare platform. We assure your tomorrow.
We are from Team Alboal. I'm Miss Sangasini Ratna, she is Anushka Hapagutra, and he is Bhuvaneka De Silva.
Namaste from Nepal. This is the result representing the team Sochware with our product e-Agrovet.
All right, folks, just give you a heads up. We're going to get started real soon. At this juncture, we'd like to invite everyone to settle in and settle down as the morning is about to begin. Stand by, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Imagine Cup Regional Finals 2018, and we say welcome to Malaysia. Folks in the house, ladies and gentlemen, it's a colorful start to the morning. We had a couple of oohs, we had a couple of ahs. Everybody, let's make some noise now, shall we? Ooh, yeah. That's right, folks, that's right. It's going to be an exciting morning. Ooh, yeah. Look at all you good folks in the house. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to each and every one of you. My name is Melvin Area. For those in Malaysia, it's area, you know, like Bukit Bintang area or Subang area. Same pronunciation, different spelling, okay? Melvin Area, your MC for the day. And on behalf of the entire team from Microsoft Asia Pacific, we just want to bid all of you good folks a warm, warm welcome. Folks, this is the Imagine Cup Regional Finals 2018! Booyah! That's right, folks. Very exciting indeed. What a day, what a day. Let's kickstart things. But first up, we do have some guests amongst us here. So let's just give you a little bit of heads up about the Imagine Cup. Most of you, of course, will know already. This is an annual student competition that is hosted by Microsoft. It is organized all across the globe. And it aims to bring together student developers from worldwide to resolve some of the world's toughest and most difficult challenges. This is the 16th year of the Imagine Cup, and this is the second time around it's being hosted here in Malaysia. Now today we've got 15 outstanding teams from 9 countries from all across the region who is competing to represent their country at the worldwide finals. Now the top 7 from today's regional finals will proceed to Seattle in the US of A to compete in the worldwide finals and to have a chance at winning $100,000. Okay, that's for the worldwide finals. But at this stage, the regional finals, the teams are also competing for some prizes. And the second runner-up will walk away with $1,000. First runner-up, $2,000, and the winner, the champion for today, will walk away with $3,000. That's right. Now, aside from that, we've also got a very special award that goes on today. It's called the People's Choice Award. The winner of the People's Choice Award walks away with $300, and the judges for the People's Choice Awards are each and every one of you. That's right. You guys are the judges. It's the People's Choice. Now, here is the URL for you guys to place your votes in. It is aka.ms. You can actually type it out in your browser right now if you want to, okay? Just so that you get a sense of what's happening. aka.ms/IC APAC vote. IC APAC vote. That's the URL for you guys to go in and place your votes. Now, you got to remember, each person only has one opportunity to vote. And what you want to do is, you can vote along the way as the day progresses, but just remember, you've only got one opportunity to vote, so vote very wisely, okay? That's going to be happening. But in the meantime, just to let you guys know, we've got folks from all across the region right here. I just want to get a sense of who's when, where. Have a quick shout out right here. Where are our friends from Nepal? Where are our friends from Nepal? They could be at the back, getting ready. Oh, we got friends from Nepal. People, make some noise, Nepal! Nepal's all a little bit shy, Nepal. Namaste, namaste. Namaste. Sanche, unu ucha. Yeah? Ramro, tere ramro. Nice. Thanyabat. Next up, we got friends from Sri Lanka. Where are friends from Sri Lanka? Make some noise! Ayubovan! Komada. Istuti, huh? Nice, very good. Next up, friends from Vietnam. Where are you, Vietnam? Vietnam. Xin chào. Bạn khỏe không? Khỏe. Top. Very nice. Indonesia, where are you, Indonesia? Wah, sama ibu dari Indonesia, bisa bising sikit. Okay, nice. Where are friends from the Philippines? Philippines in the house. Mabuhay. Kumusta ka na? Mabuti ah. Magaling. Ikinagagala kita makilalayo. Salamat. Thailand, where are you, Thailand? Thailand in the house. Sawadee krap. Sabai di mai? Sabai di ma. Come cup. Next up, what are friends from South Korea? South Korea in the house. Booyah. 안녕하세요. 마라손 반가워요. 괜찮아요? 네, 대박. Nice. Where are our friends from Singapore? Singapore in the house. Kaki lang. Lu lang ho boa. Hola, hola, hosela. East side, Pasiris. Okay, and then of course, host country Malaysia, where are you? Booyah! Imagine Cup finalists, make some noise! That's right, folks. It's going to be a crazy day. So much to be learned from today. But first up, folks, I want to ask all of you, okay, to reach into your pockets, reach into your handbags, take out your mobile phones, and put them into a silent or vibrating mode if you have not already done so. Okay? Put them into silent or vibrating mode so as not to interrupt the proceedings of the day. And if you guys have done that, thank you very much, folks. Well done. Okay. Folks, it's time to get the day started. First and foremost, before we begin, it's time to invite a very good gentleman come and join us on stage to say a few words. Folks, if you will, if you're holding a phone in your hand, I say put it down. If you are holding anything else apart from a clapper or a pom-pom stick, put it down. But if you're holding a clapper and pom-pom stick, that's fine. Hold it high, hold it loud. Get ready, clap it loud, because, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to welcome Managing Director, Microsoft Malaysia. Let's give it up, Mr. K. Rahman.
Thank you, Mr. MC, Mr. Todd Hanna, U.S. Embassy Science and Technology Officer, Imagine Cup students and teams from across Asia Pacific, members of the media, my friends and colleagues from Microsoft. First and foremost, to everyone, selamat datang, selamat pagi, and a very good morning to all of you. It really gives me great pleasure to have all of you from all across Asia Pacific to join me in the 16th Imagine Cup Regional Finals here in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. I'm really honored and thrilled to host all of you in this beautiful city and in my beloved country, Malaysia. As you've heard from the MC, right, this is the 16th. We are celebrating the 16th inception of the 16 regional finals for Microsoft Imagine Cup. This started well back in 2003, and clearly Imagine Cup has highlighted some of the world's brightest young minds. Over 30,000 students have participated in Imagine Cup competition over the last 16 years, clearly showing Microsoft's commitment and investment in inspiring students with Microsoft technology platforms through education. By encouraging the students to help them build innovative real-world solutions, the Imagine Cup has provided the world with some of the most intelligent inventions. Last year, the winner for the Imagine Cup was from Czech Republic, who invented the world's first cloud-connected glucose meter, designed for children with diabetes, allowing easier blood glucose testing and monitoring for parents and doctors through the use of a smartphone apps. So ladies and gentlemen, as you all know, the competition is held regionally, first before proceeding to the finals in Seattle, Washington. Once in the finals, the world's best team will compete face-to-face for a prize of US $85,000 and Azure credit worth more than US $700,000, as well as, most importantly, the mentoring session with our CEO, Satya Nadella. Even us in Microsoft, we don't have that privilege. So I'm jealous, actually, for all of you to have that mentoring sessions. And as we spoke yesterday to all of you, it is our sincere hope, and truly my sincere hope, that one of you guys here today will be the winner at the World Finals. Okay? Let's make it happen, guys. And let's create history for our Asia Pacific team. As I said, I'm very fortunate and I want to thank the Asia Pacific management team for giving us here in Malaysia the opportunity to host the regional finals. And actually, it's great to have 15 teams from all across the 9 countries: Singapore, Korea, Thailand, Vietnam, Philippines, Nepal, Indonesia, Sri Lanka, and of course, our very own Malaysian team. It is one of the most prestigious student technology competition in our country, and we believe that this is an opportunity to host. The opportunity to host it here allows us, Microsoft, to further Malaysia's aspirations under what we call Transformasi Nasional 2050 or TN50. Ladies and gentlemen, right, under the Malaysian government TN50 initiative, we have placed a lot of importance in technological development for the benefit of the nation. This in turn meant that digital and technological education is now ever more crucial, and we believe that by hosting the Imagine Cup in Malaysia this year, we are playing an important part, an important role in inspiring future generations to innovate and invent. In line with Microsoft's mission to empower every person and every organization to achieve more, we at Microsoft Malaysia strive to help students with the best tools possible to help prepare them for the future that is Industry 4.0. Throughout the year, we have seen Microsoft evangelists working with student partners from all over the country to help them foster and encourage young technologies to innovate. In this workshop, we help students learn cutting-edge technologies such as machine learning, cognitive services, the Internet of Things, as well as a full range of our Azure cloud services. In Malaysia alone, we have 15 Microsoft student partners employed, 7 of which have been appointed as Microsoft Valuable Professionals in recognition of exceptional community leaderships and has influences in key Microsoft technologies. Microsoft's relationship with the Malaysian government has been a strong one as we celebrate our 26 years of presence here in Malaysia. The Malaysian government has been very supportive of Microsoft's Imagine Cup. The Ministry of Education has, for instance, between the years 2008 to 2012, had allocated over 300,000 Malaysian ringgit for Imagine Cup-related activities and appointing University Technical Malaysia Melaka as the Imagine Cup Secretariat. So ladies and gentlemen, today we continue our goal to empower students through the Imagine Cup. Another initiative that Microsoft continues to pursue is the Hour of Code, which is usually run in conjunction with Imagine Cup. This is done to extend engagement with the local student community in order to raise awareness about science, technology, engineering, and maths, or STEM in short. This year's Imagine Cup is no exception, as we will be commemorating World Autism Awareness Day, and we will be organizing an Hour of Code tomorrow in collaboration with We Rock the Spectrum Gym, an indoor gym and playground for autistic children. So I really am pleased that we are doing this, and I know all the participants of the Imagine Cup will be joining us in this Hour of Code tomorrow. So before I proceed, ladies and gentlemen, I really like to thank our Imagine Cup partners for making this event possible. Firstly, I would like to thank Malaysian Digital Economy Corporation, or MDEC, for once again sharing the same belief as we do, to help promote digital literacy and knowledge in Malaysia. MDEC has been a Microsoft Imagine partner since 2007, and together with MDEC, we have developed a number of initiatives to hone entrepreneurial and technical skills among students throughout the years. We thank MDEC for your continued efforts in the field of education, and we hope through the Imagine Cup we can continue to nurture our relationship to help prepare Malaysia for Industry 4.0 and TN50 together. I would also like to thank Global Innovation through Science and Technology, or GIS in short, for partnering Microsoft for the second time to help make the Imagine Cup a success. GIS is the US Department of State's flagship science and technology entrepreneurship program that works to support and empower young innovators from 130 emerging countries around the world. Your shared commitment with Microsoft to use technology to solve the world's toughest problems by inspiring students' creativity and empowering students to realize their visions is truly and greatly appreciated. Next, I'd like to thank Sri Ventures for participating with Microsoft for this year's Imagine Cup. As a business that shares the same passion as Microsoft for technological advancements and innovation, we hope that this will be the first of many more partnerships in the future. Last but not least, I'd like to thank Post Malaysia for creating a commemorative Imagine Cup postage stamps in honor for this competition here in Malaysia, and also to provide mentorship to our Imagine Cup participants. So, ladies and gentlemen, to the 15 teams all across Asia Pacific gathered today, I hope you feel proud of what you have already accomplished so far. Simply by being here is deserving congratulations to all of you. Regardless of the outcome of this competition, I hope that you will never stop innovating. Your ideas and innovations help remind me and every one of us here in Microsoft, as well as the rest of the world, that our future is filled with so many new technological possibilities. As what my CEO says, if you change the way you see the world, you change the world that you see. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I wish all of you the very best of luck in your presentation today, and I really urge you to keep innovating and never to give up, so we can all make this world a better place. So with that, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Folks in the house, the good Mr. K. Rahman, Managing Director of Microsoft Malaysia. One more time, folks. Let's make some noise, everybody. Come on now. Hoo-yah. There we go, there we go. Got to get the noise going on, you know what I mean? Folks, you'll find that next to your seat, there's this small little plastic bag. For those who have not opened it up, you can actually open it up and blow them out, and what you'll get is those pong-pong sticks, okay? If 2 is not enough for you, then just take the other plastic from the other side of the seat. Go ahead, that's fine, all right? Next up, ladies and gentlemen, very special guest who's with us here today. He's the Science and Technology Officer from the U.S. Embassy in Malaysia. Folks, if you will, let's get some noise going on. Let's give it up, Mr. Todd Hanna.
Good morning, entrepreneurs and innovators. I'm Todd Hanna, and on behalf of the U.S. Embassy in Kuala Lumpur, the Department of State, and the team from the Global Innovation through Science and Technology, we welcome you to the Microsoft Imagine Cup Regional Finals for Asia Pacific. Today's event is inspired by remarkable entrepreneurs, tech wizards, innovators, and mentors who we celebrate today and who have gathered from 9 countries across the region. What an incredible day for entrepreneurship and innovators. What a time to be in tech. I heard some of the pitches yesterday, and I can guarantee you there's some real winners in that stack. Some great ideas that are solving some real-world problems. So since coming to Malaysia 2 years ago as the Science and Technology Officer, I've been astounded by the depth and breadth of scientific endeavor here in the region, and particularly by the quality and vibrancy of innovation here. Malaysia has put an astronaut into space. They've sent scientists to explore both the Arctic poles. They've launched a disruptive technology in grab car. And throughout the region, there's cutting-edge research going on medicine, conservation, marine sciences, food security, major engineering projects, and lots of research that is seeking a path to commercialization. There's no shortage of science and talent and ideas in this region. And that's why we at the U.S. Department of State are so excited to have the Global Innovation through Science Technology program to launch these ideas into viable, income-producing products and companies. We're very fortunate to partner with companies like Microsoft to support successful entrepreneurs and innovators throughout the world. And as was said earlier, GIST has been launched in 136 countries since 2011. We've engaged over 2.8 million innovators worldwide, and we've mentored over 5,500 startups. So your journey as an entrepreneur is one of the most exciting and most rewarding experiences, but it can also be one of the most challenging when faced with disappointment and failure. Some of those challenges and setbacks will come through competition. On this topic, Microsoft founder Bill Gates said that whether it's Google or Apple or free software, we've got some great, fantastic competitors out there, and it keeps us on our toes. Competition is indeed a powerful motivator. It forces us to adapt, to revisit our assumptions, and continually refine our ideas. So with that, we're very much looking forward to today's competition, so I hope you bring it today. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the good Mr. Todd Hanna, Science and Technology Officer from the U.S. Embassy in Malaysia. Folks, ladies and gentlemen, in a very short while, we're going to be introducing the panel of judges to you guys. But before we do that, what we're going to try and do right here, folks, is we're going to try and get a group picture of everyone in this room right here, okay? So I'm going to bring the photographer. He's going to come up just right from here, and we're going to take a picture this way, okay? So, folks, if you're lying down like that, sit up, open your eyes big, get ready to have a big smile going on, okay? Because you are going to be on picture. That's what's going to happen. All right, so this guy's going to come up. What we're going to do is we're going to get some nice, cool pictures first. You guys just smiling, you know, all nice and decent and all proper. All right, okay. We're going to get some test shots first, okay? I see some of you already smiling. You don't have to smile yet. Okay, we're just doing some test shots first. Let's get all the likes going on. All is okay. Okay, just a couple of test shots. If you're going to be waving those big hands, don't wave it in front of your face, okay? Because you're going to be covering. You just wave it at the side. Okay, and then the fella at the side, you make sure that your friend is not covering your face. So you move a little bit, you wave to the side. The other fella moves to the side a little bit more. Okay, are we good with that, folks? All right, stand by. Okay, so let's get some full shots going on right here. Everybody get ready, smile. We'll do a power shot after this. For now, just big smiles, everyone. Just focus, just up right in front here. There we go. Look at that. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 photographers, 7 photographers right here. Just plot for choice. Okay. Are we good? Nice. Let's do some power shots. At the count of 3, I want everybody to go, yeah. Are we ready? Are we ready, guys? Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. One more time. 3, 2, 1. One last time. 3, 2, 1. Give yourselves a big hand, ladies and gentlemen. Well done, guys. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, so it's going to get real exciting. We say thank you. Folks, let's give a big hand to all the photographers now. Come on now, clap your hands, clap your hands. That's right. This guy's making you look good. There we go. So, folks, as we said, you know, today we've got a whole panel of judges who's going to be judging this event, this competition, the Imagine Cup. Folks, first up, let's give you a bit of an insight into the judges that we have here with us, okay? We'll start things off with Siti Nurliza Muhammad Sahar. Let's give her a big hand, everybody. She's the Director of Talent and Digital Entrepreneurship from the Malaysian Digital Economy Corporation, or otherwise known as MDEC. Now, Lisa here, she leads the initiatives in building and sustaining the talent pipeline in driving the digital economy agenda. So, thank you, Lisa, for joining us. Next up, I want to introduce to you the good Kelvin Tan. Kelvin Tan right here, folks, ladies and gentlemen. Kelvin is the Program Director for NUS Enterprise. He's the Director of Business Development at the NUS Smart Systems Institute at the National University of Singapore. He's also the founder of several tech companies. Thank you, Kelvin, for joining us. Next up, we've got Michael Teo. Michael Teo, ladies and gentlemen, let's give him a big hand. Founder, strategist, and also Director of Thriving Talents, a company that consults and trains young talents in organizations and universities to succeed in life and work. And aside from that, we've got the good LJ Chu. LJ, where are you, LJ? LJ is right there taking pictures. Folks, let's give LJ a big hand, everybody. Now, LJ, she's the Director of Audience Evangelism Marketing with the commercial software engineering from Microsoft Asia Pacific. She oversees developer engagement across commercial enterprise, startups, and also the academic segment. Now, folks, to all the finalists, regional finalists, folks, where you are sitting, she used to sit there. Why? Because this fine lady is a 2-time Imagine Cup worldwide finalist. That's right. Don't mess around with her. Recipient of Microsoft Most Valuable Professionals Award also. Thank you, LJ, for joining us. Next up, we've got the good Bikesh Lakmichan. Folks, let's give a big hand to Bikash, otherwise known as Mike Smith. Now, he's the founder of iTrain, which is Southeast Asia's premier technology training company, and also the Asia Developer Academy. This good man has invested in over 40 innovative digital startups. So again, don't mess around with him too. Next up, we go to the good Chris Auld. Chris Auld right there, folks. He's about to bust up some John Travolta moves with that retro shit he's got going on. This good man, he leads the technical evangelism team in Microsoft Asia Pacific. He used to be a practicing lawyer in New Zealand, but he remains a passionate technologist. He's a director, investor, advisor in quite a number of ventures. Just for his shit alone, people, you got to give him a big hand. Come on now. Thank you, Chris. And then, of course, we've got the good Alvin Chai. Alvin right there. Folks, make some noise for Alvin. Alvin is our UX consultant and co-founder of Netizen Experience. He's an alumni of the Global Innovation Through Science and Technology Initiative, otherwise known as GIST. The good Mr. K. Raman had brought it up a short while ago. GIST is, of course, the U.S. Department of State's flagship science and technology entrepreneurship program. Folks, these are the judges for today. Can we please make some noise for all 7 of them? Okay, so here we go, folks. Time to get into the thick of things. Let me give you a heads up for what's going to be taking place today. Now, the team sequences have already been balloted under the supervision of all our lawyers. The entire process has actually also been videoed to ensure fairness. Now, each team will be given 25 minutes, 15 minutes for their presentation and demonstration, and then 10 minutes for the judges to ask questions. Folks, we will be keeping a very tight lead on timing. So for both the participants and also the judges, once the time is up, I will come in and let you guys know the time is up, and then we'll move along to the next team. Are you guys okay? Nice, well done. Aside from that, ladies and gentlemen, once again, I want to remind you guys, we've got the People's Choice Awards. You've got the URL earlier on is aka.ms/IC APAC vote. You can only vote once. You can vote anytime throughout the day. Once you've voted, that's it. Along the way, we'll give you a heads up as to who amongst the 15 teams are on top, or number 2, number 3, and we'll go along the way. With that all said and done, ladies and gentlemen, are you guys ready for the Imagine Cup Regional Finals? Can we make some noise, everybody? That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to welcome the first team. They're from Indonesia. Please welcome Team Beehive Drones. They're going to be setting up for just a second. We've got Isha Hilton Pujantoro Tanune. We've got Muhammad Randi Ridvaldi, and we've got Anindita Pradana Suteja. Let me just give you a little bit of a heads up about them. They're from the University of Manchester and the Alliance Manchester Business School. Now, what they're looking to do is to revolutionize the farming method using IoT-based swarm technology that can easily be accessed through websites and also mobile applications. Nice. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll leave it to you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Team Beehive Drones, let's make some noise for them, everybody.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Malaysia. Thank you very much for this opportunity so that we actually can be here sharing our idea and dreams to make the world as a better place. My name is Dida. I'm from Beehive Drones. I'm not here alone. I have my team, Hilton. We have Hilton, who is responsible for the control system and our drones algorithms. We also have Randy, who is taking care of the whole drone hardware. And we also have our most inspiring mentor, Mr. Albertus. Okay, let's move on to the presentation. We are all here today, having a very good life, getting a ride in a very fancy car, eating a very nice meal, without realizing what we have done to our world. Unconsciously, we have been part of a huge global problem, because in every enjoyment we take, there is a price to be paid. One issue that we want to address today is about the agricultural issues. Have you ever thought that behind every meal that we eat, we have caused this problem? Forest conversion, biodiversity loss, unhealthy environment community, and poverty. And with the next 15 to 20 years increasing demand of food demand and population, while our farming area is still not producing at the very potential level, this problem will seriously impact our life. So Beehive drones come with an innovation to help our farmers and government by empowering them with a tool that will help them to optimize and maximize their farming area. How do we really help the farmers? 90% of our farmers, especially in Southeast Asia, they still do their farming method very traditionally and unsystematically. They will water, spread the fertilizer, spread the pesticide, only based on their experience and based on their knowledge. And in fact, this will harm a lot of crops. It will harm us because we will be exposed to more and more pesticide, and it will actually harm them as well because they are unsafe in the unsafe circle where they can actually get the pesticide directly. So Beehive drone, we come here, we design and we create our own drones in which we will equip that with sensor monitoring system, in which the sensor monitoring system can actually scan every single crops in the farm. Then they can actually provide an analysis, how is the condition of the farm. And according to the analysis, our drone can actually customize every treatment according to the needs of each crop. So how is it, the working scheme? It sounds very fascinating, but I cannot get it. How does it work? So it's very simple because we will adopt IoT technology in which we will connect with our customer to order their service, our service, using a website or mobile application. So farmers can simply request our service. It will be like Uber, or we might call it Grab now in here in Malaysia. So they can order our service through mobile application, and our server, in this case, will be Azure. They will receive the order, and they will process. They will assign the closest drone station and dispatch this drone. Here are some illustrations to give you a better idea about how it goes. Let's say we have Farmers B in the brown area and Pharmacy in the brown area as well, owning this farm B and Pharmacy in the green area. And the Farmers B will require some drones to help them water their farm, whereas the Pharmacy will require a drone to spray pesticide in their farm. So they will actually locate their farm in GPS through our mobile application, and they will also select which service they want, and they will place the request. Once they place the request, our drone station will be assigned by our Azure here to dispatch the drone, the specific number, the most optimized one, to spray the pesticide and the water. So in this case, drone station 1 and drone station 5, they will dispatch a total of 4 drones to help the farmers B to water their farms, whereas drone station 2, 3, and 4 will help farmers C to spray the pesticide. So they can actually work collaboratively and autonomously. So how do we really help the farmers? Here's some calculation on the savings that they can actually gain. In fact, without drone, they will spend about $79 per hectare only on pesticide. Only on pesticide, please remember this. And with the drone, with the specific number, the efficiency level that increase, they can save up to 30% and only spend about $55. And even for the increasing improvement efficiency for the working hours, they can save their time about 6 times greater because our drone can cover 6 times greater area compared to the manual one. So if it benefits our farmers very much, how it actually can help us as a company. So we believe as a group here, we are here to bring an impact to our work, and we are here to help our farmers. We have the heart to help our farmers to actually have a healthier life. They have a more productive life, and they can actually increase the quality of life. So we want to make it happen by making our company as a social venture. We want to do a cross-subsidy among our target market. In this case, will be agriculture company, and we will make a collaboration program with our government as well to help our farmers as our aim to dream. So how do we want to start this business? How we want to approach this case? We, as a group, we want to start this business from our nation, Indonesia, in which we want to go from the first level. We will go to palm oil, which in this case we have the value of $30.1 billion, and then we will go to the high value product in agriculture, which can be cocoa, coffee, sugar, or tobacco. then we will cover all the agriculture sector. So how do we know how much actually we can help them? In fact, here, in general, in Indonesia, only in Indonesia, we have about 12 million hectares. So if I mentioned before, they can save up to 30% only on pesticide. They will actually save up to $280 only on pesticide. So that's how we want to change the world. We want to increase everything and make our farmers better, having a better life. So you might now wonder, what is inside our drone? What is make it so special? Let's moving on to our technical guy. Hilton, the floor is yours.
All right. Thank you, Anindita, for the time. I'm Hilton. I would like to explain more detail about the system we have designed. So, as it's mentioned that we designed the drone station, this drone station has this component.
I love you.
There will be a UAVs and power source, payload source, and payload pipe and power cable. And how about the UAV? We designed a hexacopter to deploy the payload. So it has the payload container, and it also has a payload sprayer, and it has payload connector and charger connector. So let me explain more about the system architecture. Here we designed the user interface. So there will be two user mobile apps. It is accessed by our customer, and the admin dashboard is accessed by the administrator, and it is connected to Azure. We use these services. We use IoT Hub, app services, connected services, SQL database, and storage. And this Azure server connects all the drone stations in which each drone station has a router, mini PC, and actuators. So, but this drone station will have a global internet connection with the Azure server. But how can we deploy the drone in a very remote area? We design a local connection so that the UAVs here has a router, mini PC, a sensor, and actuators. Let me explain more about the learning machine, a UAV as a learning machine. The each UAV has a processor as mini PCs so that they can execute algorithms based on with the library and the OpenCV and Microsoft Cognitive Toolkits, and they are programmed with a Python. And the second, UAV are working as a wireless sensor network in which we calculate the information distributedly. So its drones has a GPS, camera, rangefinder, environment sensors, and payload sensors. And the third, drone as executor, as it has been mentioned, that our drones has a sprayer in its drone, and the sprayer is used to distribute the payload. And how do we design the controller? In market, we can find the low-level controller, rotors, IMU, or GPS. We can find it easily. And the low-level control, we can use DJI NASA, for example, or PixHawk or Ardu Pilot, and they are controlled using remote. Most of them are controlled using remote. So we come here to propose the use of higher level controller that will control the lower level controller and sprayer, and it gets information from sensors and send the information to server. And this is the control system designs. The drones execute the algorithm autonomously and distributedly, so they will only use the information from the neighboring agents, and this algorithm will be is executed to perform the coordination. The robust feedback linearization is to deal with the nonlinearity of the drones model, and we also implement the distributed optimization with consensus protocol, obstacle avoidance, and filtering with a neural network. And this method I have designed, and it has been published in the IEEE paper conference, and some of them has been under review in the IEEE journals. And this is the demonstration of the algorithms. The drones can avoid the obstacles and do cooperatively to reach the target. All right? So let's go to the video demonstration.
We have drones. We redefine the possibilities. Thank you. We are ready for the questions.
Hi, great presentation. I just want to find out more on the feasibility of this. Have you spoke to farmers of the solution, and how often would they need such a service itself?
We actually talked to some professors. We also talked to one or two people from the Indonesian farm agriculture department for the government's thing.
So you didn't speak to real farmers, you spoke to academics only?
We talked to the agricultural in the researchers.
Let me say, we have talked to farmers in the Madiun in Jawa Timur, and he has give a positive feedback to our system we propose, and they are willing to use their farms to be our first trial, first pilot to be in the pilot process.
Okay, how often would they use this? I'm just trying to understand how feasible it is for a farm if they use this so often. Just buy a drone themselves, or why would they need your service if it's not so used?
We do not sell the drones, and the farmers will not have to buy the drones. So we come here to give the higher level controller, services, so that the farmers can access the drone, the service of the drones via like Uber or Grab, or that's. But it comes with a drone. So once the farmer accesses the drones, the drones will come. They will not buy the drones. It's different with existing competitors, for example, DJI.
My question was, how often would a farmer use this?
Okay, like if for the analysis, we talk to the researchers. It would be ideal for them to have 1 week or 2 weeks for one sensor, the aerial monitoring. So they can actually understand how many inputs of the pesticide or fertilizer they need to put for the each crop. So it's not like daily basis, it will be like weekly or bi-weekly basis.
Hi, good morning.
Mm-hmm.
Just one question.
Yeah.
How do you overcome challenges in terms of connectivity? Because you're talking about agriculture, so it's not going to be in urban area. So how do you overcome that challenge?
Okay. To overcome the challenge, we talk with our partners, and we talk with researchers in the agriculture, and we talk with the real farmers, so that we can coordinate to implement this system. And as we have mentioned that we will work as a B2B company, so we will work cooperative with them.
So in addition to set up a drone, we will make a drone station beforehand. So we're gonna set an agreement with a company or with a village or farm in the area. Then we can actually make only one drone station, but actually can reach more than 10, 11 farmers to help them.
So do you guys have a prototype of the drone's base station built?
The drone station?
Drone station
No,
prototype?
not yet.
You're going to have one built soon?
Yes, we plan to finish the idea of the drone station and every drones by end of this year.
And how many hectares can a single drone base station cover?
So for each drone station,
For the drone station.
one drone station will cover a radius in 3 kilometers, so that the drones can fly. Because we designed the drones to fly within the 6 kilometers, so it means fly return. And to do that, because of the limitation of a battery, we know that the battery of drones are only 20 to 25 minutes. So we come with the idea of a swarm drone technology, so that they can cooperatively solve the problem as quick as possible.
And as we showed before in the illustration, actually we can combine like different stations, then it can cover greater area instead of rather than we focus on one station.
Yeah, so I think from a sort of a financial feasibility point of view, getting a good model, understanding how many base stations you need to cover area is going to be quite important.
Yeah.
We have calculated. Can you show the financial figure?
Console, we may just need to switch to the laptop.
Yeah, we have, this is the total of one drone station. And then the next one, Randy, the next one. So here will be, at the first year, we plan to have like 3 drone stations with this investment, and we cover about 30 users in this case. And by only using 24 times in a year, with the price of $55.6 US, then we actually can get 48,000 income. And we still like, in the second year, we actually will make money.
So just as a good benchmark then, if you're going to be able to work out what area in hectares a single drone station can cover, go and have a look at what the agricultural yield is per hectare, and just make sure that your income is not many times in excess of the agricultural yield per hectare.
All right, thank you for that advice. Appreciate that.
What does users mean over there? Total farms or?
Farmers. Total, users like farmers.
So you're assuming there's going to be at least 30 farms around your base station?
Around the drone station?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've done statistics and field work to figure out that there are 30 farms with that 3 to 6 kilometer radius your drones can fly out to based on your pilot.
Yeah, we actually do calculation from Indonesian market. So the farms area is relatively smaller compared, like if you mention in the US or in the Canada, which is they have a bigger farm, but it's feasible to have 30 farmers.
Okay. Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Have you compared who are your competitors today? Because drones is not a new technology.
It is.
So what is so unique about what you are trying to do? Because your business model you mentioned is social enterprise. So you need support from the government to make it feasible, and at the same time, you are trying to scale up to support the bigger business. So how do you try and deconflict this?
At current, like this time, currently the market only have the drone who actually do only the sensor monitoring. So they only scan the crop and give the analysis. For our product, we want to have the farmer to increase the efficiency. So the farmers don't need to do the spreading the pesticide or stuff like that. So our drone will do it for them. So that's the adding value on that.
The analysis of the plantations.
Yeah, we scan, so we get the analysis. So we know, actually, this section A, they need only like 30% pesticide increase. So they put 30% here, whereas the other one, just normal one.
But for that, you need to have some learning, machine learning, to understand what is a good crop and what is a bad crop. So that part requires some training, right?
Yes.
Did you calculate that into it?
For training, we calculate that the drones will learn from the every time they execute the task. So it will take around 1,000 training, which means that. But each drone will combine the training each other, so they work cooperatively. So they share the information. And I want to add the answer about our contribution. We know about DJI. They have DJI Agras, but the drawbacks of the system is that we need a remote control. We need a remote control to operate the drone. Even me, if I use remote control, it's quite difficult to operate. So we come with the idea so that a farmer can just access the drones only via the mobile application, and the drone will come autonomously.
No, but they need to load in the information where the drone is supposed to fly.
Yeah.
Right? So this will pre-load into the system, so the drone will know where to fly.
Yeah.
It's not remote control.
Yeah, no.
What about the payload? What's the max you could do, and what if each farm has their different kind of versions of pesticides? Some guys may use something more organic. So does that mean they store everything with you, and you have?
Yeah. We can farmer can adjust based on what they need, because in the mobile application you can choose which pesticide you want to use.
But is that autonomous on your side, or someone just goes and?
No. The drone station, as I have mentioned, that the drone station is it has a connector so that it can refill the payload autonomously.
I will add on to
So
that.
different kind of pesticides will refill into a previous container with different pesticide. Won't there be cross-contamination?
I will add to that. Yeah, sorry. Because before we set up a drone station, we will have the agreement, which is farmers or its company. So we will understand what kind of payload they need, what kind of pesticide. So we will customize our drone station for them, for their need as well. So by that thing, it's not very complicated.
We're down to the last 15 seconds. Any last pressing question from the judges?
I do have. So on addition of that, do you also take into consideration seasonal needs and the type of crops that each of the farmers have? Because that will also add variables into how much water or what kind of pesticide is most effective and at what amount during the time of the year. So how do you take into consideration those variables?
Yeah, we add the consideration into our systems. We have mentioned that the system will learn based on the current situation, based on the weather, based on the many aspects, because we cannot generalize what. For example, we have to deploy this 5 liters for this.
How do you validate against the ground truth?
It's validated. We put the set point initial value, and it is monitored because we have camera and because we have some sensor, and it will be adjusted. So the initial value will be adjusted using the feedback we got from the sensors we have.
Thank you.
Okay, with that, ladies and gentlemen, shall we give a big round of applause? Team Beehive Drones.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much, guys. We'll give you a second to just clear things up. First team right there, folks, setting the benchmark. I know some of you are sitting down there and you're thinking, whew, that was a rough 25 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, in the real world, it's even tougher than that.
Yeah, that was nice.
And that's why these guys are here to make it as real as it can be. 25 minutes these guys were given. In the real world, you perhaps have about 4 minutes to do your pitch, 4 minutes to do your presentation. Judges will then drill you, or your investor or whoever will then drill you for 10 minutes, and that's it. You're done. Okay. A couple of you have actually already voted for some of the projects for the People's Choice Awards. Again, the URL is aka.ms/IC APAC vote. All you have to do is type that into your browser, and just to give you a little bit of a heads up who's currently on top, first, second, third. In terms of the People's Choice Awards, we've got a team from Nepal, which is Sochware. We've got at the top spot. Nice. Ooh-wee. That's exciting. The day has only begun. Don't get too excited now. We got Team Talias from Indonesia, 24% of the votes. And Beehive Drones Indonesia coming in at 17%. But folks, we are only at the start of the day. Only at the start, okay? Long way to go. All right, so let's give you a heads up for the next team that's coming up right here for the Imagine Cup. Ladies and gentlemen, the next team is Team Inspectra from Thailand. Let's give them a big hand, everybody. They consist of the team Sirawit Butmarataya. We've got Pawin Techayontin along with Sutiwat Songbongkyu, and they make up Team Inspectra. All three of them from King Mongkut's University of Technology in Thonburi. Now their project focuses on using multi-spectral imaging along with an image fusion technique as a core technology to build a system that aids in the security and safety precautions in industrial plants to detect the leakage of gases in open environments. We'll just give them a quick second. Let me just check with Team Inspectra if they're all set.
Set.
All good? Not yet. Okay. You've got another 30 seconds. Again, real world, people, real world. Entertainers, yes.
Test.
Testing is always good.
Clicker.
It's important, folks. You know, if you're about to make a pitch or if you're about to make a presentation to investor, you got to come top form. You got to be prepared. You got to test 300 times your demonstration, if not 3,000 times. Okay? And you got to test it so hard, and you got to test it right up to the last seconds of the morning.
And we're ready.
Nice. Well done. Folks in the house, let's give it up. Team Inspectra.
Hello, everyone. I'm Pawin. I'm from Team Inspectra, Thailand. Today, we would like to introduce to you our project, Inspectra. Our purpose is to create a substance detection system using our low-cost multispectral camera. This system would have the potential to save production costs and lives in the near future. We are now working on gas detection. Nowadays, there are about 7,000 chemical plants in Thailand. Moreover, these chemical plants each day process many invisible gas types that are highly flammable and highly toxic. Now, why should you care? Let's put it this way. Gas leak doesn't only affect the plant itself. It also can be devastating to the extent that it affects people or residents around the plant as well. You can see that a tragedy happened in India in 1987. It was called the Bhopal gas leak, which affected over 500,000 citizens. And the gas leak the aftermath still lasted for 30 years. The cost to clean up the gas leak was not much documented, but the documented value was over $470 million US dollars. And there were more that weren't actually documented. Now, come back to Thailand. A gas leak, according to the Safety Technology Bureau of Thailand, a gas leak incident in 2012 resulted in a major loss of over $3.2 million. And there were reports on death and injuries as well. So gas leak is something that we must put in concern. Currently, gas detectors are being used to monitor the gas levels in the plant's environment. These detectors use a method that requires the detector to be placed inside the sampled environment. And they also use a single point to represent an area, thus making the system prone to airflow. That is, a sudden change in airflow might cause a gas leak to pass by the detector undetected. To improve upon current solutions, we have worked in collaboration with the engineers of one of the biggest chemical plants in Thailand, SCG Chemicals. Now, let's take a step back. Multispectral image fusion has been used by many things, in geology, in fusarium, and plant disease, many things, but it hasn't actually been used for gas detection yet. So we are very positive with SCG right now that this technology is very interesting, and we hope that that is why we are interested in that technology. Okay, next slide. Our team has designed and prototyped a system, gas detection system, that features wide-angle detection for robustness and flexibility in conditions with airflow. Our system composes of 3 modules. First, the sensing module, which is a multispectral camera, or a camera that can take up to 5 different images in different wavelengths. Second, cloud computing, which is used to process the multispectral images with an image fusion algorithm. The algorithm used is called Principal Component Analysis Image Fusion, or PCA for short. Third, Presentation Module, which is a web-based dashboard implemented to support anytime, anywhere monitoring and alert services. Now let's see how our system works. First, the Sensing Module takes a series of images called multispectral images of the environment. To elaborate, we've put together a low-cost multispectral camera. Currently, there are multispectral cameras on the market, but they cost very much, about $30,000 at least. But our low-cost multispectral camera only costs a tenth of that cost, $3,000. This image might seem complicated, so I'll break the components down for you. So we'll start with the major components first. This is a breakdown. The first major component is the CCD, or the light sensor. We use a low-cost action camera called the SJ4000. We then add a set of optical filters that we obtained from Edmund Optics, and then, which is a leading company in optical products. We then use a Node MCU to switch between each optical filters. Currently, our sensor is able to take up to 5 different images in 5 different wavelengths. Apart from these major components, we have 3D printed models which hold each component together. We have the motor housing and the camera holder. Moreover, there is another component called the shield. This is to ensure that light that enters the CCD of the camera must pass through the optical filters. After that, the multispectral images would be sent to the cloud. On Azure, these multispectral images would be processed using the Principal Component Analysis Image Fusion algorithm. And this is what our system could do. This is an image of a fake and real plant. On the right, it is an image that we could see with our naked eye. You can see that the green of the fake and real plant are very similar. It is hard to distinguish from each other. But from on the left right here, we have the result of our system. We could distinguish very clearly what is fake and what is real. Now let me explain how PCA works. So the multispectral images will be stacked together to form an image cube. Then we run PCA on the image cube, where pixel variation in information are gathered and combined. Basically speaking, it is transforming the images to another domain where pixels are represented in a different manner and where hidden features are more pronounced. Lastly, we'll be using something like false color mapping to make these hidden features more apparent to the human eye. The resulting image will be generated after the analysis, which would potentially contain information that is invisible to the naked eye. So basically speaking, again, through some computations, we could make something invisible to the human eye, such as gas, visible on a computer screen. After the processing is done, the results will be displayed on a web dashboard in an easy-to-understand fashion. And this would include the information displayed on the dashboard includes the processed images, gas trends throughout the day, and many more other useful information. Moreover, if a gas leak is detected, an instant alert service would be invoked and messages would be sent to people responsible for handling the gas leak. We have developed Inspectra using many technologies. We have developed the PCA algorithm, image fusion algorithm, in Python with the use of the OpenCV library to pre-process the images. We have used Azure Web Cloud Computing Services for real-time computation, where masses of information would need to be processed in a very short time size. This also enables us to use multiple sensing modules in a system. That enables us to monitor many areas in a single plant. Moreover, after the results will be stored on the Azure Cosmos DB and blob storage. Lastly, we have a web dashboard, which is developed using the React library and Node.js and is deployed on the Azure Web App Service to ensure the continuity of service. Because this type of safety monitoring is very critical to downtime. And here is a demo that we did of our experiment setup about gas. Since gas is very toxic, so we won't be doing it today. And the gas we use right here is dichloromethane, which is carcinogenic, if you know what I mean. And this is the results that we get. So as you see, this is a visible, we can see with the naked eye. With the lid closed and the lid open, to note that this gas evaporates very quickly. We don't see the same, but with our system right here, we can see that with no gas at all, nothing changes. But with gas, we can see gas plumes coming out, so our system works. And this is an alert service and detection service that we did. So this is the background, and after that, the images. This is what we get after that. And when we text something similar like this, it invokes an alert service, which is we use a line application. And next, we'll see how our system goes live. So could I have some a camera view zoom in on our equipment right here? Okay, so let me explain first. We have the camera right here, which is a multispectral camera, and this is our setup right here. Today, we won't be demonstrating gas, but we'll be demonstrating something like alcohol in a cloth, and another is a dry cloth. With the physical eye, we can actually not distinguish between which is dry and which is wet. So with one click from my friend right here on the machine, we'll take a set of multispectral images, which happened already. So now back to the slides, please. Okay, back to the slides. Okay, and this is the web dashboard that we did. The results that just did that second right here goes instantly on the dashboard. So it is real time. And this is the results we get. This is, on the right, we have something. It might be wet. It might be something like that. Okay, so now let's continue with the presentation. Okay, there was some. And next, please. Our revenue stream comes from two sources. First, we'll be due by selling the machine itself, the equipment itself, and the other is a subscription-based model for detection service. We'll charge in about $9,000 per year per device. And in 2018, in the second quarter, we'll be obtaining gas data sets from the lab experiments. And in the third quarter and fourth quarter, we'll be requesting testing in the real environments in the plants of SCG Chemicals. And after that, we'll be launching this product in the beginning of 2019, where we get feedback and improve the product. And we'll implement a neural network for detection as well. This is to ensure that our system can identify which gas was detected. In 2019, we aim 5% of the chemical plants in Thailand. Now, the estimated revenue that we'll get, it will be breaking down like this. So the sensing module is $650, an estimate per model. And we have a cloud-based detection service, $9,000 per module per year. And we assume that these plants are very variable, so we assume that they use at least 2 sensing modules per plant. And with 5%, we have 350 plants. And the sum goes here about $1 million US. Next, in 2020, we plan to expand the market to 20% of the chemical plant in Thailand, increasing our revenue to about $4 million US. Our system is not limited to detecting gas in plants. It could be used to detect other things with distinct spectral signatures, such as metals and blood. So our technology has various applications in various markets. Currently, we are in the process of developing the technology with the partnership of SCG Chemicals. Next slide. Our team consists of 3 young, passionate engineers that have a firm belief that innovation will help improve our country. And we are very grateful to have an opportunity to tackle this challenging project. We have I myself, which is an expert in optical physics. I have been a representative of Thailand doing some optical researches in 2 years in a row, about 4 years ago. And we have Sirawit here, who is a capable developer and a specialist in data analytics. He has interned at the Institute of High Performance Computing of Singapore. And we have Sutiwat here, who is a capable developer and a 3D modeler. We also have our advisor is Dr. Jeremy, who is the head staff of the student incubation program of our university, and she is also an expert in high-performance computing and image fusion algorithms. We hope that Inspectra will be a technological platform that will help improve the safety, not in plants, but and beyond. Thank you.
Is there a specific range the camera can cover?
There is, but to speak like this, our system is very modular. We could calibrate the camera or change the camera as way. But when we do something, when we design it for a specific use, we'll have to look at which hardware we'll be using.
But you're charging $9,000 per device per year. So that's going to make the owner of the plant think twice on how many they're going to issue out. So how does the range get feasible in terms of supporting a wide angle? But why is it $9,000 in the first place? Can't you bring the price down?
$9,000. It comes from the data of the gas detection it comes from the price of the current gas detectors and the maintenance costs that are being used. This data we've obtained from the SCG. For the breakdown of the point, I'm not sure, but this kind of estimate came from the data we've talked with SCG.
Let me help a little bit. So you mentioned that 2 modules is needed per plant, right? So how big is the plant you're talking about here? And are you able to verify, or is it tested that 2 of those units, so one of which is $9,000, can cover the entire plant that you were mentioning?
Actually, the size of the plant is very variable, right? So we can't actually pinpoint that they have to use each for. They will have to go further about how much the area could cover. Right now, we haven't in the state of going into the real environment yet. We're still in the developing, but this has a potential because this is an interest from SCG, which is they are gladly to fund us and provide us with
Existing experiment that tells you that one camera, if let's say you only focus that for 1 square meter, how effective is that versus one unit for, let's say, 10 square meter? How is the difference in terms of performance in detecting the objects you want to detect?
As for that part, we don't have the sensors to measure that comparison yet. But that is something that we plan to do when we test it in the real environment, which we plan to do it in the 3rd and 4th quarter in the real environment of SCG.
So basically, if I took that camera, put it here right now, and you expose that cloth with alcohol, would it detect it was alcohol leak there from here? Can it detect?
I believe so. I've done an experiment about 3 meters, and it can detect.
So it's still close proximity. It's not efficient.
The camera is actually very modular because this technology has been used in satellites as well. So if you want something very match that thing as well. But for this low-cost camera, 3 meters can.
I mean, you keep saying low cost. SGA cam is $100 US. It's really cheap.
Yeah.
But your $9,000 per year per device, that's ridiculous. So that's the one that screws up the model of having many devices.
Yeah.
You got to figure that out. It's your partner charging that amount. So it seems like they're going to monetize the hell out of this. You're not.
I think they're both really cheap, frankly. I mean, understanding what these organisations spend on industrial control systems already. So I think it's an interesting idea. I'd love to understand what you've done in terms of looking at other camera hardware that might be more suitable to put on an industrial plant, because you're not going to put a unit like that into an industrial plant.
Yeah, this is our first prototype that we're using to prove the concept that it could be achieved, and right now we have proved that it could be achieved. So the next step, we're in the process of developing the second prototype to be put inside, and that second prototype would have an enclosure to protect it from the harsh environments in the plant.
So beyond price, is there anything else that makes your approach to hyperspectral imagery better than, say, a standard hyperspectral sensor? Beyond price?
Beyond price. The other value added is multispectral cameras don't come with the system that gives us the detection, the image fusion algorithms. So,
okay, so to be clearer, do you even need to make the camera or would you be better to buy off-the-shelf OEM camera modules?
I believe at this stage, I think because those cameras that are being used, they are being used in very scientific grade, and it doesn't have to be that I'm not sure that expensive or that high class, because as we tested over here, it works. And there is more an idea of to make this technology more affordable, because innovation is interesting, right? But if innovation is not affordable, it is very not that obtainable.
Can I ask another question? So how does your algorithm today able to tell you different type of gas? Let's say if you want to position it to detect gas.
Currently,
because some gas are poison and some gas are not. So how are you able to differentiate them?
First, as we have designed this system, we have to look at the spectral signatures of the gases that we'll be doing the detection with, and we use that spectral signature to choose the filters that we've done. But there are some similar gases that have, our system limited is if those gases, the spectral signatures are not distinct, we cannot tell between them because we use the spectral signature of the gas. But as we've gained the requirement from SCG, we're doing something about hydrocarbons like ethylene, ethane, something like that. We found that they have distinct spectral signatures, and that could make us improve that to classify which gas was detected.
So if you were to sell this tomorrow in the commercial space, you will then have to customize to the plant need in terms of what kind of gas they will want to detect. And then you'll figure out if there's any distinct features that you can find from the images.
Yes. The multispectral images just has to cover that part of the spectral signature of the gas. So if we could, it could be tailor-made, or it could be something that fits that spectral signature.
You could have some generic services that basically you can offer.
There are some generic solutions or possibilities that could be.
Thank you.
Is your solution, have you thought about how easy your solution can be copied? And is there anything that you're going to patent?
As for the patent, I'm not quite sure.
Maybe something that is do you think your solution is so unique that it cannot be copied?
I could say for sure that it's one of the first of its kind using for gas detection, and that could be patented. As for the details of the patent, I haven't read yet of which type of patent could it be patented or something like that, but I think it could be patented about the algorithm of using these things around. I'm not quite sure of laws again.
Sure. So your unique selling point or your uniqueness of your solution lies in the software, the algorithm.
Yeah.
It's nothing to do with anything physical.
Yeah.
Filters or because camera is not yours, right? So it's the algorithm.
It is the algorithm, right? And the code that writes to control the camera to send, because we have a sensing module, right? The sensing module is just not just some simple multispectral camera. We have some software there to control the camera and pack the information in the correct format to send it to the server for us to process.
We'll just have a look, see if anything else comes up from the judges. We are still at about 1 minute, 30 seconds.
Hi, I have a question. You said that you're working with some engineers.
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about that? What have you discovered when working with them? What have you learned?
They're doing something similar. They're detecting gas. Aside from the problem they're trying to detect gas with lower concentrations, something like that. We haven't actually discussed in detail of what we've learned from them, but we have kind of like sharing interest of what we're doing right now and sharing the progress of how we did it and how the possibility could apply to their needs or something like that. We have a meeting with the engineers in Rayong in Thailand in the upcoming quarter as well.
I have a question. Did you approach the customer or the customer approach you? Who has the pain point first?
it could be about both sides. First, our team was formed by our interest in different fields that match together, and by our advisor here. She is dealing with these companies as well, and these companies requested something for the innovation of the constant losses due to gas leaks that went by undetected. So it comes in two ways, and then we try to take this technology of our interest to improve on their pain points.
Down to the last few seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And with that, judges, I say a very big thank you, folks. Team Inspectra right there. Thank you very much. 3 fine young men hoping to put 2 modules per plan. I'm just wondering to myself, though, judges, I'm just wondering, does the camera work in a straight line vision? You know how plants are. There's so many machineries and all that. So I'm just wondering, does the camera work in a straight line vision? I'm just thinking to myself, you walk into one of these plants, you probably need 16 modules in one building. But we'll see. Moving along, ladies and gentlemen, moving along. Imagine Cup Regional Finals going on right here. We're about to meet team number 3. They are called Classum from South Korea. Make some noise for them, everybody. The team consists of Lee Chae-rin, Choi Eugene, and along with Kim Nam-young. They're all 3. They're from the Korea Academic Institution of Science and Technology. They've developed Classum, which features a chatting UI and SNS feature into a classroom and learning platform. The idea is that it looks like an everyday chatting app, which student uses, which gives them a very comfortable environment to ask questions. The app also works for teachers to improve interaction with the students. A quick check. Are we guys ready?
Yeah. Yep.
Yes, we are. Nah. Folks, ladies and gentlemen, let's give them a big hand. Everybody, this is Team Classum.
Selamat pagi, everyone. Good morning. My name is Yujin Choi, and I am so happy to be here today to represent my country, South Korea. That is my teammate, Namun Kim, and Charin Lee from Team Classum. So, what is Classum? Classum is a combination of 2 words, class and forum. Why these 2 words? Let me ask you guys a question. How many of you guys here had a problem in class when you guys had to ask a question? Maybe you guys could raise your big hands that you have. I see a couple. Let me ask you another question. How many of you guys actually answer to the question when your professor asks, does anybody have a question? Don't be shy and ask. Okay, there's no hands. So this was the reality that we faced in 2016. Students don't understand the class, but they seem to not ask any questions. We are here to learn in college, but 30% of the students actually drop out of college in their freshman year because they have trouble handling their class materials, they get frustrated, they just don't know what to do. Class changes dramatically when we reach university. It's not like high school. There's no homeroom teacher, there's no friend in class, we get lost. So these were the answers to the question of why you don't ask questions in class. First, some students thought that they don't like the attention when they ask questions. Second, they're not sure if the question was good enough. And some people thought that it was even a waste of time to other students. But interestingly, there was one thing in common. They all wanted to understand the course. They come to college to learn. So why isn't anyone taking action to this? So as a student, we took action. So in 2016, we came up with a pilot service through a chatting application. So we started with 4 schools in KAIST and Seoul National University with 180 students. But as you can see, it escalated up to 520 students with 70 courses within 1 year of period. Doesn't this say something? Students want a question and answer platform where they can interact with each other. So we took 8 months of development period with 3 developers and created Classum 1.0. The feature that we focused on was to break down the emotional and physical barrier the students had when they had to ask questions. So these are some of the features. First, we took Chatting UI as our same as our pilot service, which is an environment where students are very comfortable of asking questions. Second, we took reward and empathy system. We adopted I am a curious button so students could empathize with each other, and the one that has the most likes would get the chosen of the question of the day. Third, we implemented card list and timeline UI where students don't need to write any titles or anything that was hard for them to write a question on an online board. And it was all categorized for the students to see the questions at once. They did not have to click and go in to see it was relevant to them. Last but not least, we developed it in all three platforms, web, Android app, and iOS app, so students would not have any barriers in access to our application. So we actually implemented Classroom 1.0 in fall 2000 semester in KAIST with 120 students. So these were the results. 95% of students participated more in class. 75% of the students at least asked one question in class. 80% of the students said there were no limitation in usage and it was fast and easy, not like any platform. And 98% of the students read the questions and answered. But don't be surprised. 90% of the students said it helped to enhance their studies. Isn't this amazing? Isn't a platform that was just created by students can result this amount of statistics? But that wasn't it. Even the professor said that it clearly made students ask more questions in class. And it reduced the redundant questions, so they could have saved enormous amounts of time answering questions. So by creating a Q&A platform, we just didn't make an environment where students can ask. We made a new way that students could learn and teachers to teach. From this, we learned that we actually broke down this. A wall between in-class and out-of-class, professors and students to students. So with this, we didn't stop here. We took additional 3 months of development period and talking to the teachers and professors. We developed Classroom 2.0 this spring semester and is now implemented in KAIST, and 40 courses are using and going to be taken as an official learning tool in coming fall semester. So we're going to sell our platform, $10 per student per year. It's a subscription, so we'll sell it to 150 to 200K per students, per schools, and we'll give them a free trial period of a semester before they sign the contract. Why people would say that schools already have their education tool. Why would they use us? But that's not true. At least 30% of the schools want to change their learning tool. The generation is changing, the technology is changing, the UI and UX is changing. So this platform, where student-driven platform, it would make a change. And if it's good, school will buy it. So this is our market analysis. For TAM, it will up to $4.4 trillion in global education market size. If we cover 51,000 universities, it will up to 10.2 billion USD. And if we just cover 15 top universities in South Korea, it would add up to $3 million US. So this is the growth profit that we are thinking of. We will start with a milestone this fall with 1.5K in KAIST. And then it will go up to, in Korean schools, we'll try to cover up 6. And then in fall, we'll try to expand our service into ASEAN countries. And then we're planning to do a pilot service in USA in between fall and spring semester of 2019 and 2020. And then we'll spread globally. So data is our strongest features. It will be an advantage for movers, and it will create a blockage. With this data, we want to create an extra revenue. With the data, we'll create an AI, TA, or a tutor, and create a substitute textbook for a with the Q&A, thousands of Q&A data we will collect from schools. We'll show the demo of the real-life demo version of Service 2.0 that is currently implemented in KAIST. So this is our service page that you will land on if you log in. Let's collect the top hand corner and add a course. So if you're a student, you would search for the course that you're taking. But if you're a professor, you'll create a course. You'll write the details of the course. You could customize it as the categories that you want. You could set it as a secret room if you would like. Now let's go back. So these are the current courses that are implemented in KAIST. We'll try to go into one of them. If you click, you could join in as an admin or a student. So since we're a student, we'll go to one of the courses that we are taking. So this is a page, this is the structure, this is the card list UI that we took. Let's go to one of the questions. The question is up there. It is asked anonymously because maybe the student was shy. We could press on the curious buttons to show empathize, and that we could like it if we like the the answers. We could answer it easily by using like a chatting UI on the bottom hand corner, and then we could add any files that we want to add to answer. If we want to write a question, we click on the pencil button, select the category, fill in the question, and then we can upload files and ask anonymously as well. So if we go back, if you click on the notification board, there are notifications of the questions and the answers. It could be all customized as the students want. Let's go to my profile. So if we go on the profile, we could set the pictures, our informations. We could change the language setting. Currently, it's in English and Korean. Please change.
And now to the fun part of Classroom, the technology. Yep, we wanted to build a real-time service that worked on web, iOS, and Android. And back in Classroom 1.0, we did this by building an iOS app with Swift, Android with Java, web with React, and the server was built with Django and Firebase. And this meant that for such a small development team, we were using 4 different programming languages, and that slowed down us too much. So because we were all coding in different languages, we couldn't communicate with each other, we couldn't give each other much feedback, and every new feature addition had to be written multiple times in different languages. So this was a problem because we couldn't provide the service that the students needed as fast as possible. So for Classroom 2.0, we came up with a mission. We had just 3 developers, and we only had 3 months of time, and we had to build 3 platforms and a server. So how did we do this? We chose the right technology to boost up our efficiency. So for mobile app development, we chose React Native, which allowed us to build both iOS and Android native apps with the same code. And because we chose React Native for mobile apps, we stayed on React for the web. So because React Native and React are very similar JavaScript frameworks, and because of that, we could also use Redux, which simplified a lot of the complex data flow in our app. And for the backend, we ditched Django and went full Firebase. And all these choices meant that all of our developers were entirely coding just in JavaScript. And this allowed us to communicate and give us each other feedback and even share code. And we also got the help of web hosting with Azure, and also on the mobile side, with building and testing, we used Visual Studio App Center, which was super cool. And with the help of these technical choices, we were able to shorten the development time from 8 months to 3 months, leading us to provide the service that the students needed as fast and as efficient as possible. So mission completed. We were ready to launch the rocket.
So with our amazing web developer and our planner and web developer as well, and me who has background in communication and technology, we formed a great team that created this platform. We started as a 3-student that found a problem in 2016. We changed ourselves as a developer in 2017. And now we stand here today in the Imagine Cup as 3 entrepreneurs that wants to change the way students learn and professors teach. And we believe this is the code with purpose. Thank you very much.
I'll straight on to the judges then.
You think this is more of a cultural thing? So it works in Asia because we're very shy. But if you do a pilot in the US, do you think it'll work as same results?
We actually talked with a professor in Georgetown University and also with VC of Storm Venture Silicon Valley to get approved, to double check that this is not a cultural thing. And they said that they would really want to use this platform in their schools as well, because a lot of the American students have pressure in asking questions because they feel like if they ask a wrong or a time-consuming question, it would take students time. Or by asking a question, it might reveal their question, so they would, end of the class, they will go to their professor and ask. So they thought if they could ask a question in a platform, it will save them a lot of time. And also the statistic of 30% of dropout is from globally, so I think it covers American schools as well.
Hi, great presentation. Are there any foresight to incorporate gamification as part of the application in the future to incentivize people to participate more?
Yes.
What's your view on that?
We actually are talking with some professors in KAIS who has backgrounds in gamification psychology as well, which is one of my professors too. So we are trying to implement more features in our Classroom Pro, but for now we wanted to settle our platform as safe as possible to focus on the Q&A part. But yes, we are planning on 3.0 for more interactive features.
Do you really believe that the solution or the platform you're proposing right here is truly unique?
We believe so. We believe that this is a unique platform because before starting this platform, we did market research on the companies that has learning technical tools, but they do not have a platform that only focuses on chatting UI. They would have a question board that needs to write titles, they need to format it, or they need to ask questions. Or if it's like a Slack, the questions will be all, there will be questions and answer, it will be hard for students to find. So we adopted the features that would allow students to only focus on Q&A, and we feel like we know that this is the only system out there that is student-driven and student-focused UI and UX.
Most universities and colleges, they are really moving towards blended learning. Right, so most of them, in fact, all of them have some kind of LMS system. How would you integrate with something like that now?
So in KAIS, we also have an LMS, which is called KLMS, and we are talking with the school officials to how to adopt this learning tool to school. So we are talking about money as well with two options. First is to have an integrated system with KLMS, whereas there would be a button where students could go straight with their portal email address, or have a separate system where school would encourage students to use by the professors. So I think that we would ask the schools which would be more appropriate to them, and then we'll talk about money and everything.
Can you take me through once again how you propose for this to make money? What's the revenue model? How does it make money?
Console, we're just going to switch it back to the laptops. Here we go.
So currently, we are trying to sell the schools for $10 per student, and we did market research on how education technology companies sell their tools. They calculate how much amount the students would use it in maximum size by the accounts they collect. So we counted the numbers of the students that would use maximizely when we give them the account. So this was $10, and this estimated up to 150 to 200K in Korean university students size-wise.
Hi, you mentioned in your presentation the utilization of data, and it's going to be translated into AI and all that. How does that work? What's the plan for that?
So this is our future plan. We just adopted our 2.0, which is the server that we'll be selling. So we are estimating up to collecting the data to 3 to 4 years, and then create AI or TA through the Q&As. So if students ask similar questions to the same lectures, it would automatically say, oh, this is the answer to a suggestion. Just like how App Center in Microsoft has their robots to answer questions. And also with the substitute textbook, it will work same as that with the Q&As. We will make a substitute textbook, like a live version of Q&As. So students before taking the class or while taking the class could buy this textbook and read it throughout. So they'll have almost the same question as it goes.
But what about, that is from the user part, right? But what about, because one of your so-called client is also going to be the universities or the colleges and all that. Will the data be, some data might be useful for the universities, maybe to address employability or whatever issues that they're having. So do you have plans for that as well?
Yes, with KAIS, they want us to give them their data, with data that we are collecting as a Q&A. So we will be sorting out the data. We are doing analysis through Google as well, like with the users and how they interact and what kind of things they do. And of course, end of the semester, we are going to collect all the Q&As and organize it and then upload it on the boards of the class. So the professors would keep on using our system for the next students and the next students.
Can I add to that? I think our data, the accumulation of our data can also help professors better their teaching experience so that they can learn what the students actually like more, and we can provide that sort of more detailed feedback also to the professors.
I was just wondering, will the chat content be moderated in a sense where, if the students were to upload jokes or something non-serious, because we're talking about the online world, we're talking about social media, will it be moderated?
We actually have a report system already.
Yeah, this is a really good question, because the feature that the student wanted the most was anonymous question, and that was something that the professor was scared the most.
Right.
There was a very contradicting needs that they wanted.
Right.
So right now, what they're doing is, if the student uploads an anonymous question, the professors and the TAs could actually see their real name, but the students can't. Okay. But this is also a really very optimized system for students who have high passion in studying, because some students want the recognition from the professors. They're asking a lot of questions as well. So anonymous to the students, because they feel like they might show off, but they could get recognition from the teachers for asking a lot of questions. So we researched a lot on psychology of the students and with the professors as well.
And of course, by getting the students, either the professors or the students, to give replies or answers to the questions, right? And I know that you have that button, it's like a voting button. But again, how do you prove the credibility of the answers, especially if it's contributed by students themselves? Because I've used Cura before online, and really, really bad answers normally gets voted quite often at the top, from personal experience. So how do you curb that?
So our system is a top-down approach, where the professor has to create a course and monitor it with the TAs. Okay. So when they upload a question, since it's an application, it beeps on the professors all the time. If they they could actually customize the beeping of the alarm that they want. Okay. So when they monitor it, I believe that they could sort out the questions. And since it's a real name, I don't think that students would upload they will upload an answer, but the teacher can also correct it. Right. But the style that we use in the chatting UIs is different from the wiki style, so I think students will be more comfortable of uploading the questions, since it's not going to be deleted or it's going to be changed, it's going to be corrected.
How's it getting used currently in your university itself? Is it more of a live session? So I'm in class, lecturing, I don't understand what the hell he's saying, I put in a question. Does he have to reply in text form, or he just answers there and then someone else transcribes what he said? That's
a really good question. So when we said that we wanted an in-class and out-class integration, they could use it in class and out of class. Of course, in out of class, students would ask on the SNS system, like a chatting, and professors will reply. In class, there are diverse ways the students, professors can customize it in their classes. So one of the professor actually has two PPT slides on, and one slide he has our service up, and the students would type it and put it up. And then when it comes up, it's a real live system, so he could see it. So he stops and he answers the questions lively in his words. And after the class, he would organize it and then put it up again by the team.
But I hope that some things will be done to try and push students to interact in class too. Yes. If not, can you imagine going to a class where everyone's just in their texting devices and there's no communication?
Yes.
Why go to college then? Just stay at home.
It sounds like going to a meeting in most corporates, isn't it?
We're down to the last few seconds. Any final words right here?
So that's why we wanted to implement more interactive tools in 3.0. So right now we want students to feel more comfortable of asking questions. And next time we promote ours, they will be more interactive with the teachers. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That was the exact same thoughts that was going through my mind, you know. Can you imagine? You have a class of 100, lecturers up in front, professors up in front, everybody's just down there. Like, oh, it's going to be, you know, 5 years from now, it's a different kind of learning, I tell you. Ladies and gentlemen, so that was team number 3. Quick heads up as to who is currently leading in terms of the People's Choice Award. It is still Sochware, Nepal. Still right on top. 23%, Teles Indonesia very close behind, and then Onyx Philippines has come in. So we'll stand by for that one. Talking about Team Onyx, they are actually the next team that's coming up right here. Let me give you a little bit of an insight into this good chaps right here. 3 chaps, Romy, Ray, Santos, Santiago. That's just one person. And then you've got Daniel Brillante Soriano, again, one person. And Carl Fredzi Rosal Regino, one person. That's incredible. Folks from the Philippines, they're called Team Onyx. Let's get them a hand now, shall we? They're from the Technological Institute of the Philippines, from Quezon City Computer Engineering Department. They've designed a mobile application that would serve as a catalyst for medical advancement, propagating health awareness and also empowering individuals through the use of technology. Are you guys all set? All good? Magaling. We'll hand the floor to them. Team Onyx, everybody.
Good day, everyone. Health is the level of functional and metabolic efficiency of living organism. The World Health Organization, or WHO, defined the human health in its broader sense in the 1984 Constitution as the state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely in the absence of disease and infirmity.
Health is the most valuable thing in life. It is our treasure that we must take care of. But some of the current population is not aware that they already have diseases in which, if it's not identified and medicated, might result to death. According to World Health Organization, in the year of 2015, there are 30.5 million deaths concerning medical attention worldwide. 15 million were caused by heart diseases, 1.7 million were caused by lung diseases, and 1.6 million were caused by blood diseases.
A major problem which can be prevented only if early signs and symptoms of diseases are being detected, given attention, and then treated. We all know that our human body is unique, that even the smallest part of it is connected to the whole anatomy, which means any part of our body could relay information to what is happening inside and outside of your body. But do you know that your fingernails can reveal your health?
Yes, according to American Academy of Dermatology, our nails often reflect our general state of health. Changes in nails, such as discoloration or thickening, can signal health problems including liver and kidney diseases, heart and lung conditions, anemia, and diabetes.
Based on the study conducted by Indy and Gange, our fingernails can show many signs of diseases in the early diagnosis. Well, in the early diagnosis of diseases, the signs and symptoms are not yet showing up in our body, but could be already seen in our nails through the changes in the nail color and patterns.
Diseases can also be detected through eyes and skin. They have similarities in the diseases which they can detect. But human eye is having subjectivity about colors which may lead to wrong results. That's why we choose nails as our key to detect diseases.
Introducing Bionics. Bionics is a mobile application that scans and analyzes the possible diseases that the person have. The application is powered by Microsoft Cognitive Service, a custom vision that analyzes the data. So the cognitive service, it has an artificial intelligence with machine learning. And under this service is the custom vision. Custom vision is a computer vision AI, wherein we upload sets of images and then train them to do the machine learning. And all the hard works will be shouldered by the custom vision.
Now, how our technology works. User will take a picture of a fingernail using Bionics, and the captured nail image will be sent to custom vision and will be compared to the datasets to determine what type of nail disorder does the human have. This nail disorder percentage, Bionics will display the possible diseases that the user have.
So the data sets that we used to train the custom vision came from different medical organizations and hospitals, which were validated by Dr. Talampas, a dermatologist in the Philippines. And now, these are the list of nail disorders that we have in our database, in data sets, rather.
Okay. And for the project demo, let's get started. So our application will analyze different nail disorders and identify whether you have a disease or not. So I want to ask one of the audience to test.
Or judges.
Ask one of the judges.
Yes.
I'll do it.
Wait,
I'll
sir.
do it. I'll do it.
So place your fingernail like this.
Okay. I'm nervous, man.
Fingernail.
Oh, like
Yeah,
that.
fingernail.
I'll be at a manicure today.
Yeah. Make sure the diagnosis is.
Okay. Can we
Yeah.
screencast?
Oh, I'm praying now. I'm praying very hard. All those weeks of missing the gym.
So that's Mr. Michael Teo's fingernail. So we're going to analyze his fingernail.
Dude, you need to eat more. I know, man. I know.
So the analysis of data the result would depend on the speed of the internet that we have. Yeah.
Michael, this is actually to add on to your stress, Michael.
So first, we are going to display the results. The first results are displaying.
None of those sound good.
The results are displaying the different
nail
nail disorders that the person had. So for our example, Mr. Michael Teo, these are your results. So these are the different different nail disorders that were
Your
shown.
fingernail have. And a combination of nail disorders can result to a disease. Let's see the disease.
Michael, you need
Drum
to
roll.
Oh
my God, dude. What is that? Wait. What is that? Okay.
I love how they're clapping because you're gonna die soon.
Okay.
Tell me that this is normal. Tell me that this is normal.
Yeah, this is normal. Well, if you
Oh my God. Hey, you guys, you take the test.
So we would like to explain that these are the sets of the nail disorders. So if you have 50% or less, then you can neglect the diseases below.
So we're
Yeah.
going to analyze the results. Your Mr. Michael are safe. So you're healthy.
Oh, thank God. Thank you, everybody, for your hopes. Oh, my God. I was taking a sip of water.
So continuing our presentation.
We are planning to take Bionics at the next level by bridging the gaps between users and doctors, which will help users to locate the nearest medical specialists which they can consult to, which will help them to have validations and immediate medication.
We are also planning to widen the scope of our application by expanding the device compatibility and to cover diseases, not just diseases related to heart, lungs, blood, or liver, but every diseases that our fingernails can determine.
Now, with this technology, how we're going to commercialize the market. Bionics users will categorize into two: basic users and premium users. Basic users can avail the basic function for free. They can scan and view the possible diseases, and also they can locate the nearest medical hospitals. While premium users will pay $2 per month to avail the basic function of our app, but they can choose the medical specialist which they want to consult. Also, they can export the results of this profile to be presented to a doctor, which they can view the diseases that you have. And also, premium users will have a monitoring service which will be maintained by their chosen doctor. Bionics envision itself as a catalyst for medical advancement, propagating health awareness, empowering individuals through the use of technology.
Bionic's mission is to help individuals to easily identify the possible diseases that they might have, to apply immediate medication if needed, and also to prevent unwanted events. I am Kyle Regino.
I'm Daniel Soriano.
And I'm Romy Santiago.
We are Team Onyx, and this is
Bionics.
Bionics. Scan it, know it. Thank you.
Well, the crowd seems to like it. Judges, what have you got to ask?
Thank you. Thank you. I need to speak to you personally. Thank you. $2 a month.
Yeah.
That's the subscription fee. Wow. I hope you're talking to like the World Health Organization or the United Nations to get your solution to many developing countries so that people could be diagnosed at an earlier stage. You know, something like that. So, not a question from me. I just want to commend you for a good effort. $2 a month, that's a very noble effort, which makes me question the sustainability and scalability of your business plan. $2 a month, that's really cheap, but I know how you are making healthcare accessible. What are your thoughts about that? Why is it so cheap?
Also, our business model is not just about for the users, but in the meantime, we view it for the users. Also, we have a function that you can locate nearest medical hospitals, and they can showcase their team for the doctors. And we're going to have for about $20 per hospital if they want to. We have another two classification for the hospitals, the premium and the deluxe. The premium one is the hospital will be featured in our app, which they want to they will be presented in our application, and they will be showcased to locate the nearest hospitals. But they won't have the function of having a communication directly with the users. Deluxe package has the feature, and also they can showcase their team of the doctors they have, and the users can view the profile of every doctor if they want to consult in this doctor, and they can send a message directly to a doctor, and they will be referred to that hospital, and it costs for about $50 if the hospitals want to purchase the deluxe package.
That's $50 per hospital, not $50 per doctor.
Per hospital.
You know, when you feel sick and you go online and you search on your favorite search engine, it always says you're going to die and you have cancer. This app seems it's going to be the same. You're going to freak out a lot of people with data like that, and you're going to send them to hospitals when hospitals are not even accessible. So what can you do now to reduce the false positives? How does the data get improved?
Actually, our accuracy in the data sets is running for 60%. And we are also gathering data sets from different organizations. We have contacted in the Philippines the Department of Health, and they were giving us more data sets for us to train our custom vision for the improvement of the accuracy of our app.
So when you said data set, do you have the data sets of the nails?
Yes, data
from
sets.
the hospital.
Data sets of nail disorders.
Nail disorders.
The one that we
So
showed.
for him, it's not nail disorder; it's normal nails. So how do you match it? Right, for example,
Nail disorders,
to do
in the nail
comparison.
disorders, they are classified in the colors and the textures. So they are different. For example, terry nails, in this case, terry nails has white spots here, white area in here, and the bottom and the top part, it has a little red spot. So our custom vision analyzed the patterns and the colors of the users, and it will be compared to the nail disorder in our data sets to determine the percentage of the nail disorder.
Yeah, well, because you mentioned about 50%, so I was wondering the 50%. How do you derive what is the healthy and what is the one with malfunction? Right.
So we tested the applications in different people, and if you have a high risk for about 50%, so it means that you have a possibility that you have this disease. But less than 50% is just we can diagnose you as a healthy, but you have a minimal chance that you have this kind of disease.
So you are all technical people? Do you have a mentor who is a medical person?
We have contacted a dermatologist in the Philippines, and she's the one who validated our data sets.
Is it difficult to get the data sets from the hospitals?
We are also partnering with different medical hospitals if they want to be featured also in our application, and they have the data sets of the nail. We can just give them the access for 1 month. Then in return, they'll give us a data set for the nails.
So it's becoming more of a cooperation between the hospitals.
Would you not help them create a data set by saying, look, if they have data sets of nails, that means they've already been just focused on that. But what about doing the reverse? Finding out certain clinical diseases, going in there and scanning their nails so you have a new data set itself. Are you doing that too?
Yes, sir. So that's our plan to improve our accuracy between the data sets. Because as of now, we are only using the nail disorders to identify what are the possible diseases the person might have. But if in order to improve our accuracy, we must also check the patterns and colors of the fingernails of the person who were really sick to improve our accuracy.
So, guys, how strong is the underlying science that you're relying on here? I appreciate that you referenced that paper, so I just quickly read through that, the research paper that you referenced, and they get a similar level of sort of 60-65% accuracy. So I see you've got a few problems here. One is the model's not very accurate at all. Like 65% is not a whole lot better than guessing. The second is if you have a lot of false positives, you're going to drive a huge amount of traffic into hospitals, and it costs an enormous amount of money. Yep. So false positives are going to kill the economics of this thing straight away. And the third is, I think, as well as citing that informatics paper that you did, you actually need to go and dig in and actually have some citations around the baseline research so that it's medically credible.
There are studies the study on detecting diseases through nails started at 2015, and we have cited a project in the presentation that diseases can be analyzed through nail in analyzing the image processing of the color and the patterns of the app, and we based on that study, and we created an app that also scans and detects and analyzes the patterns and the colors for commercial purposes and promoting health awareness.
So to add there, we are not planning to replace the medical field in checking the actual diseases. We want to promote health awareness to the people.
I think the problem you face is if you drive more people unnecessarily to the health professionals, you risk overloading the health system and costing a huge amount of money at that end point. So that's the thing to be really careful about with these sorts of
the fact that you're targeting
situations.
that audience of people who can't afford medical services itself, although you think $2 a month subscription is cheap, it's actually expensive. Some people, that's their daily income gone kind of thing, right? So you got to be careful. And for rural Philippines, I mean, you got like how many thousand islands? To get to a medical facility is difficult. People die on their journey. I've seen people pitch about that problem itself. Now you're just sending them on a path to a medical facility that's so far away for a false positive. So the liabilities of this you got to think about too. Careful in that.
Hi guys, I want to know whether you have talked to the users and what do they think about your solution. What do you think about the percentage you are showing them, and would they use it on a constant basis?
We tested it on several users, and
we've tested it to the groups of people, and all of them has the same reaction like Mr. Michael did. And the dermatologist that we have consulted also told us that for now we should have at least disabled the diseases, showing the possible diseases, because it really freaks out people. And what we would really like to do is, for what we would really like to do is that if we have acquired enough data sets, then if those people have in the structures of the nail disorder has less than 20%, then there is something that will gonna flash out that you are healthy.
And also, we tested it here in Malaysia, and we have tested into one MSP. And when he see the result, he reacted that he has an anemia, and it shows in our app that he has a 78% of an anemia. And he reacted that, I have an anemia. And
it's pretty accurate. But the nail
carry on, last sentence.
But the nail disorder structure is less than 50%. It's like we are showing what are the possible diseases that you might have, but we are not telling you that you already have it. It's like possible diseases.
Okay. All right. Time's up, but we say thank you to you guys. I think bottom line consensus is if it's anything less than 50%, just tell the people they're healthy. You know, so it's going to freak them out. Thank you very much, guys. Team Onyx right there. My concern right there is for this to be monetized, you got to get the hospitals to come in. You know what I mean? Also, it's not going to be making money. But at $50 per hospital, how are you going to get the doctors to buy in? That's the other problem. But okay. Well done, guys. Team Onyx. Folks, we're moving on to one more team. They're setting up right here. Let me give you an insight. They're called Team Rumi from Singapore. Let's give them a big hand now, shall we? The team consists of Lai Shu Min, Neo Hui Yi, along with Chu Xiaochuan. Basically, they're from the NUS School of Computing and Business Analytics. What they've come up with is to design a space rental application that allows users to rent spaces in a user-friendly, ultra-secured, minimal user effort and intuitive manner. Are you guys all set? If you guys are all set, then it's time for me to keep quiet and let you guys do your thing. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, then, let's give a big hand. Team Rumi in the house. Fire away. Just go test 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hello, testing. Yeah.
Testing.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, judges and fellow winners. We are Team Rumi, and we are proud to be here today to present in this year's Imagine Cup APAC Regional Finals 2018. Before I begin, I'd like to introduce two friends of mine. Meet Alok. He's a 28-year-old entrepreneur who has a team of 17 members. Everything is going very well for him. He has big plans. He has big dreams. He's ready to change the world. But there's just one small little problem. Every single time when he goes out there and organizes a meeting, he just couldn't find a space that is big enough to fit 7 people with Wi-Fi and electricity. Hopping from restaurants to restaurants, from Starbucks to McDonald's, none of the places suits his needs. Now, meet Tanya. She's a whole different kind of problem. She owns a space in Franklin Building, but only use it 3 times a week. Honestly speaking, that's very, very inefficient. With such inefficiency, we strongly believe that something can be done about it. Introducing Rumi. Rumi is a space sharing app that matches space owners like Tanya with space finders like Alok. Think of us like Airbnb, but for spaces, well tailored for any kind of short-term events or meetings. Now, this is the team behind the entire project. It consists of myself, Shao Quan, Shu Min, and Hui Yi. We are all bachelor students in NUS School of Computing, and we will be graduating in May this year. Rumi targets 2 main spectrum of the market, the space finders and the space owners. The space finders refers to entrepreneurs or students who have frequent meetings and often have to find spaces that can fit the entire team with the required amenities. The space owners, on the other hand, are companies or individuals who own a space and are willing to share it with everyone else. Just in Singapore alone, there is almost 1 million hours spent on meetings every week, and more than 2 million square feet of meeting spaces available in Singapore. Rumi provides a win-win solution for both our space finders and our space owners. For space finders, it cannot get any more convenient and more easy to find their perfect space through Rumi. For our space owners, we provide alternative revenue source while maximizing their space efficiency. Rumi creates the perfect space for people to rent a space for any kinds of meetings, events, or parties. Rumi let our users rent a space through a user-intuitive, user-friendly, ultra-secure, minimal effort, and intuitive manner. Now let's see how it works. So for our users, let's take a picture of Alok. He goes to our stunning website, he logs in the credentials, and what he's provided on with is the list of listings which you can choose from. So you can choose anyone he preferred and key in the specific date and time of his own meeting. And you can book directly and even pay through directly from Rumi to the owners. And it's that simple. So right now from here, our finders can also add the meetings into their personal calendar. And these can directly input directly in their calendar so that it's very easy to flow with all their calendars, personal calendars apps, and can always have, on top of that, have certain notifications which they can use as they go along. Rumi also allows you to share via emails and all the other kind of messaging platforms out there. So now let's go to the other side. We have Tanya, who happens to be our space owner. So logging in, you can see there's a right notification right at the very top. So if you go to the My Rentals page, there's a new rental that's set up just a while ago by Alok Singer. This is what happened just now. Our owners also receive a list of past rentals, which is supported by our Hyperledger blockchain technology. This to ensure that all these past rentals, past transactions are kept secured, trustworthy, and private only to our owners. Our owners also can edit and manage their spaces in Rumi itself. We have a personalized calendar for each of them, where they can choose to when they want to rent out their spaces. So let me go through this with you. There's a few color-coded sections. So it's split into two parts, the unavailable ones and the available ones. For the unavailable sections, we have the dark green boxes and the dark blue boxes. Dark blue boxes are those whereby our owners want to use the spaces from themselves, and these are connected to their personal calendars so that our AI can actually know exactly when they do want to rent it out. The green boxes refers to the time slots whereby they have been rented out to other people. Other finders have already booked it through Rumi itself. On the other side, we have the available colors. So starting off, we have the dark green, we have the light green background colors, and these are the time slots whereby we have been listed out and waiting for finders to take the spots. The red color refers to the time slots whereby the owners haven't decided whether they want to rent it out. And the dark red boxes, these are the very strong boxes whereby our recommendation machine engine has actually tells our owners that these are the high key times based on the demand of our finders. You should rent this out and you can get a lot of rentals from them. So it provides, our service actually lets our users to have maximum flexibility. They can choose any time slot they want to rent out any times they want. And our AI will learn accordingly to their own preferences and will understand. It's just like a personal assistant to them. Our owners also get a personalized dashboard created by Microsoft Power BI. And this dashboard shows key matrices about their spaces. This will tell them such as things like their revenue, geolocation of their spaces, by even a word cloud analysis on their reviews as well. Now, with all these matrices, our owners can finally understand what is good about their spaces and what the other finders want to find out more from them. Now, this is just all the website. We still have a mobile site where we have a mobile application, and clicking on the app itself directly brings you to the same web page that we've seen before. So users now can use it on their home phone devices, and this actually supports a lot of on-demand meetings, last-minute meetings that a lot of our entrepreneurs will face. Right? So for example, let's say Alok goes out one day, and then he receives a call from a client and say, I want to meet you right now. Where can I meet you? He goes to our app, he books a place, it's just that simple, very fast, 5 minutes, just a few clicks. Now with all this, okay, let's go back to our slides. So now we've seen how Rumi has integrated with a lot of popular apps out there, ranging from calendar apps to emails to even messaging platforms, so that they can share their meetings, updates, and status with everyone else. Rumi also makes use of Microsoft Power BI to create interactive and powerful dashboards to tell our owners specifically what is good about their spaces and what they can improve from them. Using our advanced machine learning techniques, we actually have created a recommendation system which is unprecedented in the history of recommendation systems. So this recommendation system will help our owners to really understand when they should rent out their spaces and at what price ranges. This will maximize their profits as well as their efficiency whenever they use Rumi itself. We make use of Hyperledger blockchain technology to empower our users with high quality, transparent, and secure data. So you might be thinking, why blockchain? Just recently, Airbnb faces a problem in Singapore. There are two real estate agents who actually illegally rent out their properties and was caught a few months later and was fined $60,000 each. Now, with Hyperledger blockchain technology, such a thing wouldn't even happen in the first place. They wouldn't even have the credentials or validation to pass through our checks to even rent out their spaces through Rumi. Now, looking at all these technologies combined together, all four technologies gel together harmoniously, we create the perfect solution for both the owners and the finders. This is how everything works on the back end. We make use of notable Microsoft services such as Azure Cloud Service, Microsoft SQL databases, and Azure Machine Learning. Rumi makes its money through two main revenue streams. We collect a small transaction fees of 3% per rental and collect advertising fees for any in-app advertising. So why advertise on Rumi, you might say? So companies, when they go out and when they find youngsters, where they go for? They go for Instagram. For a slightly older one, they go to Facebook. For looking professionals, they go to LinkedIn. But the one problem is, right now, we are telling you that, what if you want to reach out to all the entrepreneurs out there? And that's Rumi. On top of everything else, we have a subscription model for both our finders and our owners. For subscribed finders, you get a promotional fixed price and priority benefits whenever you rent a space in Rumi. For space owners, you gain access to our smart recommendation system as well as personalized dashboard to further optimize your spaces, efficiency, and profits with Rumi. Our go-to-market strategy is as follows. We have some of the strongest personal connections with some of the biggest entrepreneurship networks and government agencies in Singapore. We have talked to some of the startup companies as well as multinational companies, which in the future are going to be our potential finders and our owners. These are some of the testimonials that we collected from our finders and our owners, and we see overwhelming positive response from all of them. And they can't wait for our product to be launched at the end of next month. When we compare ourselves with all the competitors out there, we find ourselves right at the very top of the list because of the ease of usage that we provide for our users. And the technologies that we give them to make them use it even better is simply unmatched by any of our competitors out there. Going forward, what's ahead for Rumi? Right now, at the end of next month, we will launch our product and we'll connect ourselves with the biggest entrepreneurship network in Singapore, NUS Overseas College, as well as we will talk to our school to rent out some of the spaces that our school have. Within 1 month time, we'll go out, reach out to other government agencies such as Spring Singapore, which is an entrepreneurship-related government agency, and JTC, which is a real estate government agency, to provide even more access to more of finders and owners. By the end of 3 months, we hope to tap on the entire Singapore market, and at the end of 1 year, we hope to expand out to every Southeast Asian countries. So now in Rumi, we have a dream. We dream that every single entrepreneur out there does not have to worry about spaces anymore. And they can truly, truly focus in what they love in and what they do best in, innovation and solving new problems. Now with Rumi, entrepreneurs like Alok can get matched easily with owners like Tanya. With Rumi, renting a space cannot get any more simpler. With Rumi, we hope to revolutionize the entire space industry. We want to change how people use their spaces, and we strongly believe that spaces are meant to be shared. That's our dream. And in Rumi, we make our dreams come true. Spaces for everyone. Thank you.
Team Rumi from Singapore. Here we go, judges. Far away.
There are so many of these platforms out there. I mean, you just quoted McDonald's and places like that, but there's Venurific, there's Venue Mob, there's Fly Spaces, there's 8 Spaces. There's about 6 of them just locally in Malaysia.
Yes.
So why would you want to compete with that? And what happens if tomorrow Airbnb says, fine, we'll do meeting spaces too? What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Firstly, okay, so I think our technology is one of our key value propositions as well, because we make use of machine learning, blockchain.
But to an owner, they don't know all that. They just want to rent their space. So take that out. What do you have?
Okay, so Airbnb has all those problems. Like there are a lot, like as you mentioned, there were those people who illegally rented out their spaces, and in Airbnb they also had many problems whereby, as a host, sometimes when I go back, my space is like my house may be totally ruined, or as a guest when I go there, there's no such place. So there's a lot of trust issues in Airbnb, but then because in Rumi we use Hyperledger blockchain, so all these will be totally eliminated.
But that's just the tech. How would you do the KYC? I can say that I own the space, but I don't. What are you doing with the blockchain to say I own it?
So we go through certain verification checks. So in order for you to even rent out a space, in Rumi itself, you have to go through a certain verification check that says that, oh, I own this space. These are the certain pictures that I have. You need a certain documents that tells that you have the power and you have the rights to rent out these places. So it's not as though whereby as long as I go in, I can put any space I want, I can rent it out straight away. That's not the case. You have to make sure that we actually really do own the space, and we probably will have, at the start, we will have people to go down directly to view your space and actually to check that you have these spaces and they're actually ready to rent out.
So you would send people all throughout Asia?
Of us. We will go down there personally just to check for it.
What is the social impact that you're trying to create through this app? Because I'm hearing a lot of commercial value to this app, but what's the social impact that you're trying to create?
So as entrepreneurs ourselves, we are our own customers. And we go out there when we see ourselves, and we just cannot find a space sometimes. Like we can go McDonald's, we go Starbucks, we have to buy certain food because of peak hours. And they just don't have Wi-Fi or don't have even power plugs, and we run out of electricity. That's the kind of problem we face. And we feel that as entrepreneurs, like everyone else in this room, they should definitely have some kind of solution out there that actually help them. And we go out to when we go to big companies like Microsoft or other companies, or even my school, NUS for example, we have spaces who are left out, not used for the entire day. I was thinking, why not we merge both of them together, right? As in, this is definitely an opportunity and it's definitely beneficial for both sides of the picture. So we want to create this kind of culture, of sharing culture, and promoting entrepreneurship within Singapore and hopefully Southeast Asia and eventually the world.
How big is your team currently? Because you mentioned that you're going to be doing the validation yourself.
Yes, correct. So our team right now only have 3 of us.
All right.
We don't even have a mentor. We start everything from scratch ourselves. We are very, very motivated to do all these things. But we hope to actually gather more and more of our friends, our peers, and people from other disciplines to actually help out with our...
So the timeline that you give yourself, the 3 months to conquer Singapore and then 1 year to go to other countries, is that a realistic timeline given the resources that you have?
Yes, because we are actually connected to a lot of the government agencies as well as I myself is a NOC alumni, NUS Overseas alumni. So actually I have connections with all the the biggest entrepreneurship network in Singapore. We also have connections with some of the big government agencies. So I interned in GovTech Singapore, which is a government agency, and it connects to everyone out there, all the government agencies in Singapore. My friend here, Xiumin, she actually interned in Accenture. So Accenture is a very big consulting firm that can link you up to many different companies as well. So we actually have reached out, talking to them, actually find out more from them, like what would they be interested to join us on board, and what are they looking out for, and what we can actually help them furthermore when they rent out their spaces or they want to find a space as well. So all these are really in the midst of making, and we're just waiting for us to graduate so that we can fully immerse ourselves in, which is by the end of next month, and then we fully immerse ourselves in and make everything work. Yeah.
I really like your tenacity. I need
Thank
to
you.
commend all three of you for that. Just that with all these big names you're throwing out about partnerships, about people promising to help you, be very careful of that. Just
Yes, we will.
really follow up, because people can promise the sky and the moon and the heavens. But at the end of the day, I really admire your tenacity. Just
Thank you.
keep following up.
Thank you.
Yeah?
I mean, I like that, you guys are studying analytics. I
Yes.
wish that you would focus more on that, not on just the application,
Yes.
but really machine learning.
Yes.
What you could do is just, there's so many of these platforms already
Yes,
out there.
exactly.
Why not just work with owners already on that platform saying, give me access to the data, I will mine it along with everyone's data and tell you based on where you are, that locale, that block, I can tell you what's the best price you should rent for and when. That will be more compelling to anyone, and your competitors are now your customers. Rather than go up against every single platform by selling blockchain, I don't think so. That's a silver bullet. Owners don't even know what the hell that is. I would focus just on analytics if I was you.
Okay, thank you.
I would really want you to study your competitors and see
Yes.
how are they doing, because you were talking about entrepreneurs and
Yes.
you're talking about people who wants meeting space. So you say essential. So how likely is essential wanting to rent their spaces out, or they going to use the spaces compared to using their own office space? Because they want certainty of space, they want it the time that they want it, and there is certain branding that they need,
Yes.
right, for their space.
Yes.
So how is that going to help in terms of your platform to their brand, right? How they operate.
Yes.
So these are some of the things that I want you guys to really think about, because I've yet to see your competitors solving that. So sometimes you may not need to take the bullet yourself. You can actually see what your competitors are doing and see how they are bleeding and understand what problems they face. And like Bikesh said, I think maybe another solution, make them your customers.
Okay. Thank you for the suggestions. Thank you.
We've still got 3 minutes on the clock.
Yeah. Other than spaces, do you see that what you're developing can be applied in other kind of areas? Because after you conquer and imagine you can take 80% of the market, what else do you do next?
Yes. Okay. So we have a whole plan ahead of us.
Don't need very big one. Just
no. Okay. So
what else
spaces.
can you do? Yeah.
Meeting spaces itself is just the very beginning.
Yes.
There's a lot of things that we can go into, such as port facilities booking, restaurant reservations, and even entertainment tickets purchasing. Anything that require a space, require a time, require a price, we can do everything here, right? So right now, we just want to focus on entrepreneurs because we want to make ourselves on all different kind of markets, and we cannot focus on one. So we grow ourselves in one specific market first, the entrepreneurship market, grow it. Eventually, when we're big enough, we can tap onto other industries, in the entertainment industries, the sport industry, or even the restaurants, F&B businesses.
When you talk about entrepreneurs, can I just understand to date, when you started your project to date, how many entrepreneurs have you interviewed and talked to?
So, just a brief intro. Her mom is an entrepreneur herself. We interviewed her. We have already started.
Someone that is not related.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. So actually spoken to the NOC.
Just took him. Sorry.
We spoken to the NOC colleges, so the opportunity networks, and actually we spoke to. I myself is an alumni, so we have a lot of entrepreneurs out there in the whole network. So I spoke to them. I talked to them. There's more than 30 to 50 people, entrepreneurs out there. And these are the people whereby they are just starting out. They don't own an office space. And all they have to do is, when they want to do some business, they want to come up with ideas and brainstorm and have a team meeting, they have nowhere to go except for their school, right? And sometimes the schools doesn't provide, the meeting rooms are all filled up and they have nowhere to go. So they meet up in McDonald's and Starbucks, and all these are not conducive for them. So we actually talked to them, and we found out that actually these are very, very useful for them. And at the same time, when they go to big companies like Microsoft or any other companies, they get to learn. They get to see for themselves in these big companies for themselves firsthand, maybe as much as their eyes can see, how much actually a company can work itself. And eventually, they motivate them, as if I go to a big company, I go to Microsoft, I have my own project meeting here, and now I see myself in a few years' time. This company, I will build a company as big as this, for example. So it gives that kind of motivation and drive to them. And that's something that you want to give it to them, and you want to give the chance for them to have it.
if I were you guys, I'll focus a lot on marketing and branding, man. You need user adoption like crazy to drive the traffic up.
Yes,
You're
which
in
is
that
why we want to
game.
go towards the government side, because Singapore government is very strong in Singapore itself, and we can reach out to government, and the government is willing to help us. Singapore won't be a problem, and we have a lot of adoption from there.
Okay.
Oh, we're down to the last 15 seconds or so. Any final words from you guys? Well, the judges, they seem to be quite happy. 10 seconds. Any final words from my fellow 3 entrepreneurs?
Thank you, everyone, for giving us this chance, and we really, really appreciate all these chances.
Well done. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Well done. Team Rumi right there. So 5 teams so far, ladies and gentlemen. Can we give a collective big round of applause for all the teams that have presented? Let's make some noise for them now, shall we? Coming up next, one of the most exciting highlights of today, it is called lunch. And it's going to be served outside. We've got an hour, and then folks come back right here. All the judges, thank you so much for all your comments, your insights, and continue with us, folks. This is the Imagine Cup Regional Finals 2018. We'll see you after lunch in an hour's time. Thank you all. Also, don't forget, People's Choice Awards still going on. A quick heads up. Nepal, Team Sochware, you're still leading right on top, 22%. New entry has just come in, Team 7X from Singapore. And in third place, Team Onyx from Philippines. Carry on voting, guys. The voting goes on all the way to 6:30 p.m. later this evening. And we will soon find out who will be the winner of the People's Choice Awards. Thank you all. Bon appetit. Enjoy your lunch.